Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna have a look at the Opus 88 demo. The pen comes in a simple cardboard box, and inside the box there is the pen, of course, an eyedropper and a spare O-ring. Let's look at the pen. It's a fairly large pen made entirely out of translucent acrylic. The top finial is completely transparent and it screws into the rest of the cap. So you can technically unscrew the finial and remove the clip, even though I'm not sure why would anyone do that, as otherwise the pen would easily roll off the table. The clip is made out of metal. It's nicely shaped and quite functional. There are two different finishes on the cap. This upper part is transparent and then the bottom half is still polished on the outside but matte finishing on the inside. The cap is almost completely straight, just as the body of the pen. The body has a similar combination of finishes, so polished on the outside, matte finishing on the inside with a fully transparent bottom finial. The cap unscrews in almost 4 rotations, which is admittedly quite a lot, and underneath the cap we see a number 6 sized JoWo nib stamped Opus 88. The nib unit can be easily unscrewed and swapped for any other JoWo compatible number 6 sized unit. Not only that, you can also insert a nib from a pilot parallel directly, and this works absolutely flawlessly as well, even though it looks a bit funny. So you can still screw on the cap. There is absolutely no issue with using this pilot parallel nib unit in this pen. The section is then polished on the outside and made on the inside. This is a perfectly sized section for me. At the narrowest point it measures 10.7 millimeters and then tapers up to over 12 millimeters. It's also sufficiently long and these threads don't bother me, even though this step up to the body can be a bit sharp for some people. Now, if we unscrew the section from the body, we will have a peek at the ebonite rod of the filling system. So this rod moves as you unscrew the top finial, and this will allow ink to flow into the section. This filling system is extremely well made. I never had any issues with it. It works very well with all kinds of ink, including shimmer. Here is a look at how the section looks like on top. The ebonite rod will plug this hole when it's fully extended towards the section. The large body provides the pen with a large ink capacity of almost 3.5 milliliters of ink. At 147 millimeters, this is indeed a fairly large pen. It's also quite heavy for a plastic pen at 27 grams when empty. This means that including the cap and a full reservoir of ink, this pen will be almost 31 grams. This pen does not post at all, but at 138 millimeters it's plenty long enough, even for large hands. 17.2 grams when empty and uncapped. I think that is completely manageable. For this size comparison, I picked another Opus 88 model, Flow, a traditional Lamy Safari, and a Leonardo Momento Zero. Let's fill the pen. The ink I picked is JoWo Vert Cactus. This is what the swatch looks like. It's fairly close to what you get on the bottle. So I'm using the included eyedropper. In this pen it doesn't look like much, but this is plenty of ink to write many pages. And as you can probably see here, the ink is not flowing yet into the feed. In order to allow the ink to flow to the feed, we have to open the shutter valve. And now we can see the ink flowing into the feed. Now it's time for a writing sample. So the pen is the Opus 88 demo with a medium nib, and the ink is JoWo Vert Cactus. This is a very standard JoWo number 6 nib. There are no surprises, negative or positive. So let's check hard starts. No issues. As for skipping, again pretty much perfect. Just like most JoWo number 6 nibs, it has a little bit of feedback, but there is no scratching and it's very pleasant to write with. Let's check the wetness. It's again perfectly average, perfectly adequate. As for flex, it's fairly stiff, but you can get just a tiny bit of line variation. It's not completely round. There is a little bit of difference between horizontal and vertical strokes, and the line width for vertical strokes is about 0.5 millimeters. As for reverse writing, it's slightly scratchy, but otherwise it gives you a nice extra fine line and the ink keeps flowing, so fully usable for reverse writing. Ergonomically, this pen works absolutely great for my large hands. The acrylic material is pleasant to touch. The pen does not slip in my hands, and I don't mind this step at all. Let's also try swapping the nib for this pilot parallel. So it's fairly easy. You just unscrew the original nib and then put the pilot parallel nib. Once it looks something like this, it's good to go. It shouldn't take too long for the ink to come out of this pilot parallel nib because of its feed design. And just to quickly demonstrate, this works perfectly fine. Right there I wasn't completely parallel to the page. The large ink capacity of this pen is really useful when you want to practice broad edge calligraphy, and I really love this combination of the Opus 88 demo body with a pilot parallel nib. Okay, so what are my overall thoughts on the Opus 88 demo? I really like that it's built like a tank, and also this filling mechanism. It has a super large ink capacity and the ability to cut off the ink flow to the section. It also works really well for me ergonomically. I don't really love the design. Maybe next time I would buy one of the colored models, or at least a model that has a silk print on the barrel and the cup. But it's not like I don't like the design. I think it's fine. I love that you can put a pilot parallel nib here or any JoWo nib unit. And I think the current price of $120 is a fair price for the pen. Maybe my biggest gripe with this pen is that it takes 4 rotations to unscrew the cap, and it feels like you are about to write your magnum opus every time you are trying to write with this pen. But that might be a good thing for some people, I guess. All in all, this is one of my most favorite pens. If you think you would enjoy a pen like this, then I don't think you would regret buying it. That's all for today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!